Yay! Okay, so we are live on YouTube. Welcome everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome to Open Mic America. We missed you last time, but it was the 4th of July. Hope everybody enjoyed that. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, these songwriters will sing for you and me. We live in a nation based on music, and the songs and the stories that are underneath it all have been keeping us sustained for generations. And each one of our singer-songwriters is part of this beating heart of the American music and part of this tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for a long time. And we're so glad to share all of that with you who are watching tonight. In the before times, if we wanted to see a show like this, we'd have to travel around the country and go to local open mics and other venues to find all the best of the best performers. Of course, that sounds like a wonderful trip, but tonight we're using the wonders of technology in order to enjoy this, all from one place and from no place, from our own living rooms. It's an opportunity to see the best of the best, all at the same time. And we'd like everyone out in YouTube land also to know that in addition to performing for you, we are performing here for each other. And the singer-songwriters here enjoy playing for each other and being in each other's presence and being supportive of each other. So they're enjoying it just as much as you are. We're going to be here for about a couple hours, give or take, however long it takes to sing those two songs and answer a few questions about what it's like to be a musician or a singer-songwriter or what music means to us. So introductions. We have, I'm Daphne Ramil, your brave host here, and we have Pete Summer, who is co-host here. Also, he's our main interviewer. And if you notice, in the magic curtain of his Zoom window is the lineup for today in order. Yes, he's showing it like Vanna White. You can also see that lineup in the details of the YouTube channel that you are looking at. You can also see it on openmicamerica.com. So now, just before we start, let's introduce you to everybody. So when I say your name, please wave. Our first performer will be Ronnee Stolzberg from Warwick, Rhode Island. Yes, Luke Molina from Norwalk, Connecticut. We have LeeLee Robert from Jackson, Wyoming. We have Robert Owen from Portland, Oregon. We have Larry Hicks from Pittsboro, North Carolina. Matt Meighan is back from Portland, Oregon. We have Melia from Cary, North Carolina. We have Jim Pryts, also back from Fairview, Oregon. And we have Mick Schaefer closing out the show from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Ronnee Stolzberg, also I have introduced her, but I just forgot to say that she is here for a second time. Also, she's back with us. And with that, let's open up the show with Ronnee Stolzberg. I am going to put her in our spotlight. I am going to unmute her. I hope you're unmuted. I think I can do it for you, but that's hard after you're... There you are. Right. And take it away.
Okay, thank you. This is a love song. It's called Lonely Winter. Early this morning, I heard the birds singing songs as the daylight rose o'er the hills. It's been a long time since the last time I saw the sun come a-shining in down onto my windowsill. It's been a long, lonely winter since you left here on the train. Tick-tock, the clock on the wall tells me soon you'll be back in my arms once again. Your memories keeping me warm, and I've been waiting so long. I keep the fires burning bright as I wish you good night, though you're still many miles from your home. And as the night falls, I watch the stars up above, and I pray that they're guiding you on. So don't despair, love, for the road may be long, but there's a warm wind blowing in, and it will carry you home. It's been a long, lonely winter since you left here on the train. Tick-tock, the clock on the wall tells me soon you'll be back in my arms once again. Your memories keeping me warm, and I've been waiting so long. I keep the fires burning bright as I wish you good night, though you're still many miles from your home. It's been a long and lonely winter since you left here on the train. Tick-tock, the clock on the wall tells me soon you'll be back in my arms once again. Tick-tock, the clock on the wall tells me soon you'll be back in my arms once again.
Bravo. Beautiful.
Beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, so my second song is a song I co-wrote with a friend of mine. It's based on a documentary that you can find on the internet. It's called The Hermit of Gully Lake. And she had seen, my friend Mary Ellen Windsor had seen this documentary, and she had written started to write some lyrics and asked me to help complete them and put it to music and all of that. So I did, and it's a very interesting story. I really recommend you look online for the documentary. And the song pretty much sets up the whole story. It's called The Hermit of Gully Lake. It was in the 1940s when the war took him away. A soldier sent to fight, there was little he could say, but there were lies hidden in the lines, a trust that was broken by the fine print of the papers that he'd signed. On the day he disappeared, as he jumped from the train, he headed north into the wilderness, his heart full of pain, for he refused to kill his fellow man. So a hermit he became, all alone and living off the land. In the woods of Nova Scotia, he built his cabin strong, always fearful of the people who'd believe that he was wrong. With a handmade guitar, a few friends he did make, and through many peaceful years he lived a quiet, simple life on Gully Lake. he was hardy as they come. 60 years in the wilderness, living on the run, and the people tried to help him when they could, but he'd only smile and turn away, head out on his own into the woods. When a fire burned the cabin down and everything he owned, Willard couldn't bring himself to leave his wooded home. At the age of 87, he set off into the snow, and they found his lifeless body in the spring beside the lake he'd come to know. In the woods of Nova Scotia, he built his cabin strong, always fearful of the people who believed that he was wrong. With a handmade guitar, a few friends he did make, and through many peaceful years he lived a quiet, simple life on Gully Lake. He'll forever be remembered as the legendary man of Gully Lake.
Great story.
Bravo, Ronnee. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Before I turn you over to Pete, I forgot to ask you, where do you go and sing those beautiful songs of yours? Is there an open mic that you attend regularly?
Yes, I regularly attend the open mic that is done through the Hearing Room, which is based out of Lowell, Massachusetts, and they've been doing it on Zoom for over a year now, and there's a wonderful, wonderful community of people there, and many events, not just the Tuesday open mic, but all kinds of other events throughout the week or throughout the month.
Oh, that's really wonderful. I'm glad they get to hear you over there.
Thank you.
That was really beautiful. Thank you
Thanks
for
very
opening
much.
up that way. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Hi, Ronnee. How are you
Hi,
today?
Pete. Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. So have you been able to get out live and be safe and sane and all that?
Yeah, a little bit. I've gone to some in-person open mics, just a few. Met the people that I've been playing online with for over a year, and finally got to meet some of them in person. So that's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's great. I've noticed that a lot of people that I used to play with prior to the pandemic have moved away. And the only way we can stay in touch is through Zoom, which is great for technology, but it's kind of a tear, but anyhow. So what made you want to become a musician?
My mother used to sing all the time, and I have a very vivid memory of being probably no more than 7 years old and standing in my cousin's room talking to her and saying to her, "I'm going to be a singer someday." And and then in high school, I had some friends who played guitar, so I kind of had them teach me, and pretty much self-taught and taught through friends, and mostly as a vehicle so that I could sing.
Oh, great. That you're writing it sounded wonderful.
Thank you.
So, have you ever asked anybody for their autograph?
Oh, yeah.
And who?
Oh, gosh, lots. I used to have a whole wall of autographed, concert photos and things. I remember, I shouldn't say this, but I got Arlo Guthrie's autograph on a rolling paper.
That would
I
be
don't still
unusual
have it.
for Arlo.
I don't still have it. I don't know what happened to that, but
Did you were short on papers one night and you had to use it? Is that?
yeah, it was like all I had. Had the opportunity, and that was all I had to write on.
There you go. Oh, perfect.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, different lifetime, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for starting us off, and it was great hearing you again.
Okay, thanks. Take care.
Take care.
Yes, and having you back, Ronnee, that's wonderful. And now we have somebody I've never heard before, and that would be Luke Molina from Norwalk, Connecticut. You can take it away. Luke, I am going to spotlight you. There you are.
How's it going, everybody?
So this one's an original and it's called What I Say. Sitting in the sand trying to make a plan. All I can see is her face. Try my best to hide in the broad daylight. I miss that warm embrace. Soaking in the sun isn't quite as much fun without my good gal by my side. I tried to confide in your moonlit eyes. I guess I wasn't too wise. That's alright, baby. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. That's alright, mama. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. She looked at me, and my heart, it started to scream. I thought that it couldn't be real. I must be stuck in a dream. She promised me love and soul, hideaway where we could be free. Then I whispered in her ear real soft and sweet, I'm alright, mama, now that you're with me. That's alright, honey. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. That's alright, sugar. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. Women here, women there, maybe everywhere I look. Tell you what, I'm hard to read, baby. Don't got what I find in the books. If I try with all my might, I'd probably jump up, grab hold on that start. With a disposition like mine, baby, who'd think it would be that hard? That's alright, mama. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. That's alright, sugar. I know you're gonna try to claim my head one day. Stop trying to make me your clown. I'm not showing my face and trying to hang around. It just perpetuates this endless frown, and I'm gone. Stop trying to make me a fool. Stop trying to make me lose all of my cool. Well, baby, you forgot about the golden rule. What the say, baby?
Yeah,
Beautiful. Wow.
nice.
Nice tune, Luke.
Thank you.
Where did Capo Dave Williams find you? Wow.
And is this open mic? Is this just originals, or can I do covers too?
This is originals. This
Okay.
is, yeah.
So I got more originals. So I was just.
I'm
wondering.
sure you do. Here we go. We're going to spotlight you again for your next original.
When you're standing right next to me, it's the only place I wanna be. I'm encircled by your mystery. I could watch your hips all night. Where your love, it drives me wild. Chanting spells held within such a delicate smile. Must admit it's true, I'm a fool for you. You leave me hurting all the while. On the sidewalk or in the rain, wondering if I still love you the same. Should I stay or can I remain? Wandering love or trying to find a way. My lips might tell you no, but my body's begging, baby, please don't go. When you're standing right next to me, it's the only place I wanna be. I'm encircled by your mystery. I could watch your hips all night. There's such a delicate smile. Must admit it's true, I'm a fool for you. You leave me yearning all the while. You know what they say, baby? One day a fool, he may get smart. I'm still a fool, and I guess I'm all yours. May come a day I gain the courage, turn my head and look the other way. Until then, I guess I'm gonna keep on yearning.
Bravo, Luke. That was
Guitar work.
wonderful. Good, yeah. Great guitar work. That was great. Luke, where do they get to hear you? Where do you go regularly where people get to hear you?
Well, I've actually just really started out, so I've know a couple open mics in my area where it's just acoustic, and that's kind of what I prefer doing. But I've been going to open jams. I've been going to the Black Duck, and I've been going to a place called the Sea Grape, and I've trying to find some more. And I'm trying to find some places to start gigging out too. So just doing whatever I can.
Bravo. That's wonderful. I'm sure Pete has some more things to ask you.
Oh no, you covered it, Daphne. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Luke. How are you? How are you today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I think I'm okay. You know, if the Lord love it if the creek don't rise and the flood, we don't have any floods or anything. But wish we had floods in California, but there's no rain. But anyhow, who's the performer that you admire the most?
Performer?
Yeah.
Really love Chet Atkins.
Okay.
I really respect the fact of how talented he is, how technically skilled he is, and how he can kind of ring in a performance all on himself, but at the same time he's not overly flashy. You know, there's a real humble aspect to him, which I admire.
Oh, great. great. And what would you say your writing goal is?
My writing goal?
Yeah.
Make music that touches people, you know, that resonates with me and that I can kind of share with others in a way, you know.
Yeah, cool.
That they can get their own experiences from and that sort of thing.
Yeah, share your stories and see how it resonates with your audience. Is that?
Yeah, because I mean, my writing process, I try to keep it poetic in a way so that you know somebody else can get their own meaning from what I write, and then I have mine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the beauty of art. It's very subjective and interpretive at times.
Yeah.
You agree? Yeah. So what accomplishments do you see yourself achieving in the next 10 years?
Next 10 years?
Yeah.
Definitely going on a tour.
Tour?
Yeah.
Wow. So go ahead.
Well, I would love to release some sort of album and just kind of just get as good as I possibly can, you know? My goal is to be great, and there's no really time that I want to achieve that in, but I just want to be great.
Yeah, well, good. Who would you like to tour with as your opening act?
As my opening act?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know?
No.
Would you like to open for somebody in particular, other than Chet Atkins?
Jorma Kekkonen.
Ah.
Hot Tuna, yeah. I love that stuff. I missed them, and when they were in concert in Connecticut, I missed them, and that really bummed me out. So. Oh,
definitely see Jorma. He is he's incredible. I saw him a couple of years ago locally, and I'm going. He does a lot of work with a wah-wah pedal in his blues stuff. And the night that I saw him, I didn't see him using his foot at all, but I heard the wah-wah, and he was using a little box called a dynamic wah, where it's the attack of your pick that governs the attack of the wah. Wow. And you don't have to use your foot. And I go, well, that's kind of cool. So another concert that cost me money, aside from the concert costs, I had to get new equipment. So anyhow. Yeah. Luke, thank you so much. I'd love to follow you and watch how you evolve. So Thank you so much for being here.
We're waiting for you to come on tour to California, Luke. I mean, Pete and I, yeah. We're the only ones here. Oh, thank you so much. And next, I'm going to ask the question to begin with. We have LeeLee Robert from, is it Jackson Hole, Wyoming, LeeLee?
Yes, Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
But it's Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And LeeLee Robert, before you start playing, tell us where you go to open mics.
Well, Jackson Hole, Wyoming has a very famous open mic called the Hootenanny at Dornan's. And it was started, many years ago by the father of extreme skiing, Bill Briggs. And they had a Teton. They started it out under a bridge, and everybody brought some kind of wine or liquor, and they poured it into a pot to keep them warm and heated it up. And that was a Teton tea party. But it's been going for decades and decades, and it's where all the musicians hang out on Monday nights.
Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube, live at the Hoot during the pandemic, and I know particular John Seidel, who used to live in California.
Yes, absolutely. So, John's a good friend, good friend of mine. We're all good friends. It's a real family.
One day, if I ever get over there, I'm going to have to go to the Hoot. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But now, we want to hear you, so we're going to spotlight you and take it away, LeeLee.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to start out with a tune that I wrote called Wyoming, Jewel of the West. And it was inspired by my husband came out in a pickup camper with his family when he was about 15. And when you go over the pass from Du Bois down into Jackson Hole, the trees open up and frame the Grand, the Cathedral of the Grand. And he said it changed his life. He grew up in Ohio that's as flat as a pool table, and seeing the Grand, he said, I'm going to live out here one day. And here we are. We lived 6 months here. And here's a story of Wyoming, Jewel of the West. While traveling west in a stagecoach, it changed my life for good. I saw a sight that struck me like lightning striking wood. Purple mountains, majesty, cathedral of the grand. I knew right then and there I'd be returning to this land. Wyoming, Wyoming, crown jewel of the West. One starry night by campfire light in the heart of Yellowstone, one man stood and said, now this great place I'd like to own. But another man had a better plan, a sight for all to see. And Yellowstone National Park became our legacy. Wyoming, Wyoming, crown jewel of the West. Come a rope and ride, hunt and fish, it's all here to do. Starry nights that you can wish on waiting here for you. And if you come across a kid who's traveling out west, you'll know a life has changed for good. Now he's seen the best. Well, it's the first state to give women the right to vote and make a stand. It's the independent spirit and the unspoiled land. Wild things, wild places, 'tis of thee I sing. America the beautiful, God bless Wyoming. Wyoming, Wyoming, ow, 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 ow. Wyoming, crown jewel of the West. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Good howling.
Well, that's Wyoming, and now we're going to go to Arizona. Arizona is where I spend the other part of the year, and it's the home of my birth. I was, about 30 years ago, I was driving home from Sedona. My little nephew had just been born, and I looked at the desert in a new way somehow. It was like the desert was reborn in my eyes. I loved the desert. And so this is a song that I wrote, and I updated it for my latest album, Swing Set. I updated it into my cowgirl jazz style. So here's Arizona. Arizona, I'm just starting to magnolia with the tall saguaro standing so strong and so still, with your skies big as daydreams and your clouds with silver linings as the sun sets on purple mountains. I wonder why it took me so long to hear the beauty of your desert song, but I swear by the stars in the Arizona nights that I'll always love you. Arizona. Ooh, Arizona. Arizona, I'm just starting to know you, with your trails good for walking or riding horseback for miles, with your red rocks and mountains, with your dust storms and monsoons, and the tumbling tumbleweeds go drifting on by. I wonder why it took me so long to hear the beauty of your desert song, but I swear by the stars in my sweet baby's eyes that I'll always love you. Arizona. Ooh, Arizona. Mm-hmm. Arizona. Come and visit me in Arizona.
You had me wanting to dance.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice rhythm.
That's good.
Yeah, great swinging along there. Thank you, LeeLee. That was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
That was great, LeeLee. Welcome to Open Mic America. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. This is really fun. I love this whole concept. It's a great idea.
Yeah. So I guess you're representing 2 states.
I
So
am.
That's fantastic. I mean, we've got 2. Dave, we've knocked off 2 states. Another 2 states. Wyoming.
I have
Arizona.
another few state songs as well. I kind of like that.
All right. So, what hobbies or interests do you have outside of music?
Well, being in Wyoming, I love to hike. I'm a big hiker, and I belong to a group called the Hiker Chicks.
Okay.
And I write about what I see and what I experience. It's just fantastic here, and I hike in Arizona in the winter. So I love to hike. I like to knit. I like to cook. I like to play with my puppy.
Don't we all?
Lots of things. I love to write. Love my friends, family.
Well, that's great. So you get to listen to one song for the rest of your life. What would it be?
I get to live with one song?
No, you get to listen to one song
one
the
song.
rest of your life. What song would that be?
Ooh. I think it would have to be a classical tune because I do love classical music, and I don't know, Yo-Yo Ma. I love the cello, so Yo-Yo Ma playing one of his beautiful tunes. I don't know the name of the tune. I can hear it in my ears, but I don't know the name of it, but Yo-Yo Ma on cello, I could probably stand to listen to for the rest of my life.
Okay.
That's a tall order, though.
It,
I have to, because I like a lot of variety.
it is. I was going to ask Luke that song, but I figured, wow, that question. But I mean, he was kind of young, so I was going. That's a tall order,
Right,
you know.
what are some of the young groups called?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, have you ever asked anybody for an autograph, and who would it be? Who was it?
You know, this is funny. I don't think I have ever asked a famous person for an autograph. I'm shy in that way, and I kind of like to give people space when they're famous. But I tell you what I have done. I've asked a lot of friends who play music to or write a book or whatever. I ask them to sign their name on a book or an album, because I think, you know, that's part of the fun of it all. So I don't know. I have lots of friends who have written and made albums and written books, and so I ask lots of friends to put their name on it, because I'm proud of them and I want them to know that and experience writing their name down.
That's great. Well, so you have asked someone for an autograph, because I didn't only have the condition that it had to be a famous person. So
okay.
So
I think
you've done that.
I think my friend Carolyn, I'm her last name is escaping me for the moment. Carolyn Martin. She's a real she's a Western swing star in you know, the Western Music Association, and I did, I guess, ask her to put her name on the album.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for being here and covering 2 states, Wyoming and Arizona. And if you move to another state, we can cover 3 directly from you. So anyway,
Yeah,
thank you so much for being here. Look forward to hearing more from you.
Cowgirl jazz style.
All right.
Thank you, LeeLee. Thank you for being here. And now we're going to give the stage to Robert Owen. Oh, we were playing the unmute game, Robert. I unmuted you and you muted yourself at the same time. I'm going to do it for you. There we go. Okay. And you have the stage.
All right. Well, I'm going to do an old song of mine and a brand new song. And the old song I wrote in 1993. And it's just about a guy that I knew back then. And that's all it's about. It's called Ritchie Road. Met him in a singles bar, a man who had gone too far. Never knew a better man who had gone bad. Ain't that the way it goes? The money comes, the money goes. Story everybody knows, still it's sad. He had drive, he had ambition, he had a big house on the hill, admirable convictions but no will. Something happened at the high rise, what I will not know. There were made up conversations for my benefit, his show. Driven to reflect on his sad and lonely life. He had a loving daughter, he had a lovely wife. As so often happens in this land of the brave, while driven to succeed, he was driven to his grave.
Wow.
Excellent. Good job, Robert.
What a heartbreaker. Wow.
Well done.
This brand new song here, I wrote it about a week or so ago, and it's an adaptation of sorts from a poem, a short poem by the poet William Stafford. And the poem he wrote was entitled The Way It Is. And the song title is A Thread You Follow. If you're feeling like the days are hollow, there's no purpose anymore, think of times you've had to beg and borrow and couldn't find an open door. This life I'll never take for granted. Try to find an easy out. There'll be tragedies and heartbreak, and cause to celebrate, no doubt. Your friends may wonder what it is you're pursuing, where you've been and where you'll head. And when they ask you why you're doing what you're doing, you'll have to tell about the thread. You don't get lost if you hold on to it. it will pull you through instead. Nothing we do can stop time's unfolding. You don't let go of the thread. I believe your life's a thread you follow. It goes among the things that change. And every choice you make about tomorrow guides your life today. When that thread no longer stretches out before you, if you still carry some regrets, just outside the gates of heaven, you can leave them lying there. Thanks, everyone.
Excellent.
Robert, do you play at the Artichoke in Portland?
I do. I'm a member of the board of directors at Artichoke, and I go down there quite often to play music. And they're just starting to open up again.
Oh, for live open mic?
For live music, yes.
That's wonderful. Wow, I loved your songs. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, welcome, Robert. You brought us back to the West Coast.
Yes.
Thank you. Except for Daphne and I, but we're just California. Nothing like Oregon. So, what strengths do you have that you believe make a great musician?
Well, I really value the lyrics. I'm a real big fan of Guy Clark and his work. There's not a Guy Clark song that I don't like, and so he's got so many, and I think that's saying something. And I think it's because I just like the lyrics. I like the subjects that he writes about, and I try to write about things that happen to me, or so most of my songs are pretty personal, and I think that's important as a songwriter to write something that your audience might connect with. Yeah, that's what I value, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there another musician that you've mentored or trained, and describe how that went and what you did to help them?
Well, I'm involved with a local group here in Portland called the Soldier Song and Voices, and we coach songwriting and guitar and performance to veterans in the community. And on Zoom, it's really great because we're getting an audience of vets from all over the country now. And so I guess I've never considered myself a teacher of guitar. My parents got my brother and I guitars when I was 12 and he was 13, just to keep us out of trouble, hopefully. And being a good son, I took up the guitar, and of course I kept out of trouble. But but I never did. I learned so young. I kind of, as I aged, I kind of forgot how I learned, and so it's been a really, really good experience for me to try to teach vets to play and to improve their skills and hone their skills. And it's been a real eye opener from a teacher standpoint and mentor standpoint. Yeah, so it's been a good experience, but it's been kind of challenging, I'd say.
Yeah, you as a teacher, you do learn in the process. So
Yes.
that's a great experience. Well, thank you so much for what you're doing, and for Artichoke and for the veterans, and welcome to Open Mic America, and thank you so much for sharing your songs.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Yes, Robert, I second what Pete says. What a great question that you asked him, Pete. Otherwise, we would have never known about this that he does. Thank you, Robert. Next, we have Larry Hicks, who hails from Pittsboro, North Carolina. I'm going to unmute you, Larry. I just did. And before you start, maybe tell us what open mic you go to.
Well, happy to be back, by the way. And there's a local open mic called At the Dockside that plays every Wednesday, and a small group of us. They're just starting to get back into things. The restaurant itself isn't even totally open. But that and playing around on Zoom and other potential venues with some small circle of friends until this whole pandemic thing kind of eases out a little bit more. But anyhow, that's where I am. And speaking of pandemic, in the middle of last year, in the middle of the pandemic, I wrote a song about, it was an interesting idea of when the world was telling us all to go to our room and think about what we've done while we were hovering inside. I looked around and noticed that the world was actually looking a little better off than when we're in it. So this song's a little bit about that. It's called Another Sunday Morning, and morning is MOURNING. As I sit here staring out of my window, colors are as bright as I have seen. I can hear the bluebirds joyful singing, sky a deep sea blue and trees are green. It's just another Sunday morning, sipping coffee, catching up on news. Came out of nowhere without warning, and from that moment changed our point of view. I'm the present, illness stopped the world, feeding off our favorite fear or two, seeking out a path of least resistance. Scrambled to decide just what to do. It's just another Sunday morning, all the precious time that we had lost, blaming others, ignoring all the warnings. We stay at home, counting all the costs. Take a walk outside to breathe the air. The world feels much closer than it's ever been. Seems to come alive when we're not there. warm sun shining through the evergreens. Maybe it won't miss us at all. All the Sunday mornings, all the precious breaths that we have lost. The earth itself is giving us a warning. We stay at home, counting all the costs. Another Sunday morning, and all those precious lives that we have lost. The earth itself is giving us a warning. We stay at home, counting all the costs. Stay at home, mourning all we've lost. So that was my downer song. Hopefully we'll get out of it. Also, here in Pittsboro, we're dodging heavy thunderstorms. Michael and Cary, you might be watching out for that too. This next song is I was challenged to write a tune in pentatonic. And so I came up with a tune and shared it with my wife Sue, and she kind of liked it. And so I said, why don't we both kind of come up with some phrases or words or whatever this tune reminds us of. And it actually brought us to the same time and the same place in our lives on the outlook. On the outlook gazing down, on the outlook gazing down, can you see what I can see? Up the river past the fields, an eagle climbing with the breeze. It must feel so all alone, no one there to share its dreams, flying high above its home. Through the wilderness it seems, walk these trails for quite a while, take a pause, enjoy the view. The past is what we leave behind, and every day we start anew. Enjoy the times we have to spend, let the sun wash over you. Feel the warmth within your soul, still so much for us to do. If all our wishes made it so, our lives would have no bitter tears. But without tears we'd have no love, no more burdens left to share. We would simply have no joy, we'd live our lives so unaware, frozen in our empty journey, callous hearts that never care. But on the outlook gazing up, can you see what I can see? Up the river past the fields, the eagle climbing with the breeze, joined in flight by another, without a care, just wild and free. soaring higher to the sun, high above the lofty trees. As we look out on our life, can you see what I can see? Doesn't matter where we've been, only matters who will be. Join forever one another through life's ever-changing scenes, soaring higher to the sun, still together you and me. Is joined together one another through life's ever-changing scene, soaring higher to the sun, still together you and me.
The banjo.
Yeah, great tone.
Yeah, we need a banjo at least once in a show like this. That was
It's actually a 6-string
thank you,
banjo.
Larry.
Very nice, Larry. Yeah, I've got my 5-string behind me, so that doesn't count. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Those were 2 great songs. So, Larry, which instrument is your favorite to play and why?
I think it's the 6-string guitar, because it's the one I grew up with. I've got a 12-string, I've got a classical, I've got an electric, but I think a 6-string acoustical is the best. And the banjo is actually a 6-string banjo, which is tuned like a guitar. So I gravitate towards that.
Yeah. Yeah, the banjo sound is fun. It always makes stuff happier, right? So if you had one song to listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, jeez. It would probably be any song. Probably a guitar instrumental of some sort, just kind of blending out, nothing thematic about it. But there's so many songs and so many moods and so many days, and my history lesson of music goes the entire gamut, and so I can listen to the 30s music, 40s music, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a couple 90s, 2000s and on. But there's just so much music out there. Just give me a couple chords and 8 notes, and I'm good.
Cool. So what's the best piece of advice another musician has ever given you?
Somebody's given me?
Yeah.
My wife gave me the advice of playing solo, so she couldn't hear it. But other than no, I'm kidding. Probably it's just to play to your heart. Play what makes you feel good. And play music when you get the chance. I've got guitars sitting everywhere, and so when time presents it, I just sit down and plink a little bit for a couple minutes, and just kind of enjoy the music, enjoy the time.
And is that the advice that you'd share with someone else also, or would you have another, or is there another thing that you'd want to share?
I would just simply say, play what you love, do what you want to do, and own it, pretty much. It shouldn't, it's difficult learning how to play and all, but quite frankly, if you're enjoying what you're doing, it kind of comes a bit natural. And there are always going to be people who are better, and there are always going to be people who are just like you. None of them are worse. They're all in different different stages of their progression. But enjoy others' music and enjoy your own. And when you can, harmonize. So.
Good advice. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and I look forward to hearing you next time.
I was glad to be back.
Thanks, Larry.
Wow, we have a wise group here. I'm taking notes for sure. Sometimes I myself just forget to play music. I don't know why, and then I'll do it for a very long time, and then I'll forget a while again. But I like your method a lot better, Larry. I'm going to have to think about that a little bit. And now we have someone who never stops playing music, I'm pretty sure. We have, welcome back, Matt Meighan. I'm unmuting you and spotlighting you. And if you could just, before you start again, tell us if you do play at an open mic, which one that might be, or something.
There's an open mic here in Portland called the Songwriters Soiree that was started about 12 years ago by a friend, Robin Jackson. And it's a really, really wonderful, love-filled listening experience. We, of course, moved online when the pandemic hit, but the last couple of months, Robin's teamed up with the folks who do silent disco, where everyone wears headphones. So we've been doing it in a big public park. We all have headphones on, and people can sit as far apart as they want, and the music's, coming over the headphones. And we didn't know if it would work for acoustic open mic, but it's fantastic, and it's really, really fun and really cool. So
I'm going to have to ask you for more details about that, Matt, like offline. That's
awesome. It's a really cool, it really works, and everyone gets to see each other in person, and it's lovely.
Beautiful. Well, now take it away for us. We're going to listen to you.
I live in Portland, Oregon, and there's been, you may have heard in the news, really freakily hot weather here. We hit 116 degrees one day, which is, I think, close to 20 degrees, 15 or 20 degrees hotter than it's ever been recorded here. It just doesn't get hot like that. So I walk around a lot, and I was walking the other day and found myself writing new lyrics to a wonderful heritage song, an old song. The song is called On the Sunny Side of the Street. It was written in 1930 by Jimmy McHugh and Dorothy Fields, and it's a really awesome song. If you don't know it, it's really fun to play. But I wrote new lyrics for it, so I hope that's original enough for this. Grab your sunscreen and a hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Direct your feet to the shady side of the street. Hear that pitter-pat. That happy tune is your sweat. Drip into the beat on the shady side of the street. I used to walk in the sun and sometimes even run. Those days are done. This roaster popped from the toaster. If the sunshine won't relent, I'll be cool as a cucumber, umbra at my feet, on the shady side of the street. I used to walk in the sun and sometimes even run. Those days are done. This roaster popped from the toaster. If the sunshine won't relent, I'll be cool as a cucumber. Umbra at my feet on the shady side of the street.
Woo! Nice one.
Oh,
Really great. Beautiful.
that made me hot just listening to it. My gosh.
Yeah, I realized I was always crossing the street to get in the shade, so I was singing that song in my head, and I'm like, that's not right. This is one I wrote by myself. It's called Time to Go. The jukebox keeps playing that heartbreak song. Everybody in the bar singing along, and you hit your limit an hour ago. It's good to know when it's time to go. The birds and the breeze are making peace. Your neighbor sits down and begins to speak. You're learning things you really don't want to know. It's good to know when it's time to go. Yes, it's good to know when it's time to go. Love that song. Still this time may come, it just can't go on. Every step is like a ball and chain. Blur out your window like a moving train. Your lover cries out, but calls you Joe. Well, it's good to know when it's time to go. Like when the boss man hires you to build him a wall, gives you a room in his tower tall. You check out the view, there's bars on the windows. It's good to know when it's time to go. Yes, it's good to know when it's time to go. Love that song. Still the time may come, it just can't go on. Barman's pushing a mop on the floor. A fifth guy in the front row has started to snore, and you're playing songs that you don't actually know. Well, it's good to know when it's time to go. Yes, it's good to know when it's time to go. It's good to know when it's time to go.
Yes.
Indeed.
Wow. Guys snoring in the front row, man. Time to go.
That doesn't happen on Zoom, no. Oh, what a great song, Matt. Thank you for coming back to us.
Well, it's such a pleasure. I love this format. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, those were great, Matt. So, describe your favorite and least favorite part about being a musician.
My favorite part is getting to be around other really amazing musicians and play music with them. That I probably wouldn't get to do if I wasn't a musician. Well, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be able to. My least favorite part is carrying speakers.
or the drummer's drum kit.
Yeah, well, I don't usually play with a drum kit, but
Yeah,
I do
well,
carry. I have been known to carry a speaker up and down stairs before.
Oh,
You know, in my younger day, I don't really do that.
yeah. That's why I don't take my Fender Twin out at all, because I can't even lift it into the car.
Right.
So, if you should happen to experience this, what's your process of dealing with performance anxiety?
I do experience it. A couple of things. One is I had a teacher once. It was in a different context, but he was talking about when you get in front of people, it's just part of our nature that your system becomes stimulated. So your pulse speeds up and your heart beats and you sweat and your hands tremble, and he said you can either label that fear or you can label it excitement. So I always say, well, I'm really excited about playing this, even though I'm actually, I experience it as anxiety, but I try to label it as fear. And I guess just to realize it's normal and it's okay. And, the other thing, I really try to breathe and I try to feel the floor. I try to feel my feet touching the floor and I try to breathe, and then, just screw up. However much I screw up, it's going to be okay.
There's no mistakes in music. It's all improvisation.
Right.
Remember that,
Exactly.
A wise musician once said that. That was Paul Simon. So he says there's no such thing as that. So if getting back to, I guess, some of the comments after your songs, if you looked out and the audience seemed tired or bored, how would you handle that, or what would you do? Yeah, and Daphne's, everybody's yawning. How would you deal with that?
I think it's good to know when it's time to go. No, if I had to continue, I would try. Well, two things. I would try to figure out something that was connecting with people. So I'd try something different musically. I'd change it up. One thing I've done sometimes at really noisy bars and open mics and stuff where no one's listening is sing a cappella, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes it's amazing how that can just completely silence a noisy bar. People are talking over the instruments when they hear an unadorned voice. So I might try that. I might try something more fun. But there's also sometimes playing when people, they're not there to listen. They're there to do something else, and they're not really listening. To just accept that and think, okay, I'm changing the atmosphere in the room. Maybe these people are having a conversation. Maybe the energy I'm putting in the air will change the conversation, and not need them necessarily to, it's not that fun to be the jukebox, but sometimes you are. So
sometimes it happens that way.
And you get to play, And I had a friend who told me that was his favorite thing to happen in a gig, and I was like, why? And he said, because then I don't have to, I can play whatever I want. I don't have to try to impress anyone. I can just have fun. They're not listening anyway. So that's, another thing. I just try to keep a good attitude.
Yeah, well, good. Well, thanks again, Matt, for being here, and look forward to hearing where you're going next. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
Wow, more words of wisdom. I knew I've experienced the breathing. I've never thought about feeling my feet on the floor. So that is literally grounding yourself, right?
There's a wonderful poem that I can't think what it is now, but it talks about how the earth is under your feet and it's holding you up, and it's been there every step you've ever taken your entire life. The earth has been holding you. So I just try to remember that the earth, the earth's holding me. It's not all on me.
Wow, I like that. Oh, so much I'm learning tonight. This is wonderful. Thank you. And now we're going to go all the way to Cary, North Carolina to hear Michael Melia. Michael, you are unmuted and we're going to spotlight you. Tell us a little bit about where you play at open mics before you start.
Well, there haven't been a lot of open mics around during the pandemic era, so I haven't been doing, hadn't done a lot over the past year or so, but lately I've been playing in a couple of the local places here in Cary. But there's, before that, I would play at open mics in Cary, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Carborough. These are all kind of areas around this, you know, the Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Cary area. So I mean, so I just started doing it again recently. Some of the local places. There's a place not too far from where I am called the Corner Tavern. There's another thing with the Bond Brothers that I played with a week or two ago. So just started getting started here locally.
Well, that sounds really exciting. And now I'm excited to hear what you have to play for us here virtually. Take it away.
All right. This is a song called Saying Goodbye. I don't think my songs necessarily, they sort of stand on their own. I don't really necessarily need to provide any background information, but maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see.
She comes to me, a friend in need of me, open hand, a welcome place to be. Sure not to cry on, but just for a moment to grieve. To be on with your life now, that's just what you need. All the ache will go in time you'll see. There's a new road calling, it beckons out for you. I wanna help you believe. When hearing her words, she comes to share her day. She's mending her wounds, she smiles, she's something to say. Taking a hand, she's certain and hopeful. She needs to be on her way. Sometimes it seems a man just can't see. His beating heart could never deceive. And the tears that surely will come when he knows it's all come undone. With the last breath of love's warm embrace fading away. Get on with your life now, that's just what you need. The ache will go in time you'll see. Driving the road that rolls out before me, I will not believe.
beautiful voice you have, Michael. Wow. There goes the other guitar.
Yeah, nobody's done a 12-string tonight. So now I'm the first one. This is a song that's called Without a Trace.
Without a trace of a safe, simple life, without a place of the straight and narrow lines, miles and miles and miles and miles ago, the only place I've really ever known is out of touch from the dreams that got me by, laying back, always waiting for a sign. If I lost my way, don't know why that I must reach for more, breaking out from the chains that held me down, making tracks for the break I should have found. 'Cause now I know I'm gonna win. Now I realize I cannot compromise. This time I will stake my claim on my own life. This time I will not wait until my name's called out, casting off with the full wind in my sails. A bit of luck, hell I know I shall prevail. Sometimes it seems as if I've lost my way. Nothing sure, I think I'll be okay.
Wow.
I dropped a few lines there, but anyway.
Well, it's an original. Nobody knows what you were.
That's true. It was. That was right. It was improvisation.
That's right. It sounded great to me. Wow. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, it was wonderful, Michael. So, which instrument is your least favorite to play, and how do you make sure you play it well?
There's no least favorite. I mean, I only play guitar, so anything that's not a guitar would be my least favorite. But there's some songs that I really like the 12-string. There's other songs that I really like the 6-string classical. I'm planning to pick up another steel 6-string because there's some songs that really sound good, I think, in that. So it depends on the song.
Okay. And tell us about your first music teacher. What did you learn that you still use today?
I never had a music teacher per se. I just would pick things up from people, asking questions how they did this or that or whatever. So I've never really had a music teacher per se.
Okay. Is there any advice that somebody's given you in the past that you still say, gosh, if I didn't know that, it just resonates still today?
Not really. I mean, I think I had relatives and friends that showed me how the whole finger picking thing kind of worked. I just remember as a kid, I would hear that and I would think, how do they do that? And when I kind of got clued in as to kind of what the cadence is, how you kind of do it, then I kind of learned from there, and that was something I think was kind of a watershed point when I figured out how to do that.
Okay, well, good. So, have you asked anybody for an autograph? Anybody?
Actually, never up until a couple weeks ago. There's a guy that I've been working with. His name is John Shane. Does really nice things in a blues guitar, kind of old style. And I worked with him on a single, and I got 5 more that I'm working with him on. He is producing them, but he just did an album a couple weeks ago, and I was over there in the studio, and I said, John, you got to sign this for me. That's the first time I ever did that.
And I heard that, so that's why I asked you the question. No, thank you so much for being here and sharing your songs, and look forward to hearing more from you.
Thanks.
Okay, take care.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Totally self-taught. I wish I could say that about myself. Wow. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go back to Oregon, but this time to Fairview, Oregon, right? Jim, and I could say, here's my old friend, Jim Pryts, who I've never met, but now I've seen you a few times. So, are you unmuted? You are. So Jim, do you go to the Artichoke when you're in Fairview? Or there's some other open mic that you like to attend?
Actually, the Artichoke in the Portland area is the only thing I've ever attended. I was here about 6 years ago. I used to play the open mic and a few Fridays at the old location in the Hawthorne district, next to the Cuban restaurant. Remember that?
I'm not from Oregon. I've only been at the Artichoke once, though, as a visitor, and I don't know what was... I didn't notice any Cuban restaurant next to it.
Yeah, there was a Cuban restaurant. I never had dinner there, but I could smell it, and I swear I could hear harachas going, But I also play at in a London, England Zoom open mic called a Lockdown Folk, and it's real nice. But that's pretty much all I've done since COVID hit. I haven't done anything else. I was planning on I retired a year ago and moved here back from Grants Pass, and I was going to immediately busk and try to make a little bit of extra bread, But then the Black Plague struck, and I was left wondering what to do. And then I heard about the Zoom meetings, and now everybody has a television station in their bedroom, So
that's right. That's
yeah.
Right. And now you're on TV, so
now
you
I'm
have
on
the
TV.
stage, Jim. Play for us.
Alrighty. This first song is a song of protest aimed at smartphones. If you've ever waited in a lobby at a restaurant and you've noticed all the folks sitting right next to each other, all looking down at their phones, their transfixed faces reflecting the eerie glow, texting somebody miles away while they ignore their dinner companions. And I got to start thinking about that, and I wrote a song called Everybody's Looking Down. Everybody's looking down, no one's looking round. Friends don't talk to me anymore. By the glow of their phones, I'm an old dinosaur. Their eyes are all glazed and their cookies are erased, and everybody's looking down. Everybody's looking down instead of looking around. Conversations are all remote, and texting ain't exactly what you actually wrote. It's emoticons, not true emote, and everybody's looking down. Think about it. What is this poor boy to do? All by myself, cause I don't own a phone. No Facebook friends, cause I'm here all alone. Ain't got no towers to allow me to roam, and everybody's looking down. Well, I'm at the movie show, nowhere else for this boy to go. Glowing phones to the left of me, squawking phones to the right of me, and them angry birds won't let me be, and everybody's looking down. Well, connectivity ain't what it's cracked up to be. If you're always on your phone, your FaceTime friends won't even know you're home. Then out of service, they all start to roam, and there's more folks looking down. So pack away your phone, go outside and let spirit roam. Take a walk with someone else, you'll be looking all directions, and it's good for your health, it's your peace of mind. Be your truest wealth, and you won't be looking down. Yet put that iPhone on the shelf, and you won't be looking down. Droid.
Droid.
Put that phone away.
Love it.
Oh. More wisdom, but this time in the song.
Well, I'm not sure if it's wisdom or not, but it's the way I feel about those things. I even have one somewhere. But all my friends are all mad at me all the time because I don't pick up when I'm supposed to. Yeah. So I'm going to change emotions, and I'm going to go to a song that I wrote a long time ago. I call this my long song. Not because it's long, but because it's a song of longing. I'll leave the rest to you. Start over again. Morning rose today, and I drove down to the bay. I woke up thinking of you, and you've been with me all day. I see you in the distance, and the way the water plays. I hope to meet you someday, my lady of the waves. Say now, ain't it funny how time just slips on by? You spend your youth deciding where to be and what to buy, and you wake up one cold morning with no one at your side. Maybe I'll still find you, my lady of the waves. Were you with me yesterday? And did I just not go? Did you show your smiling face? And did I just not know? Well, a man needs something warmer than his memories that fade. I hope I'll get another chance with my lady of the waves. But above the blue Pacific, by Jenner by the sea, the ocean calls me back again to where I think you'll be. On the off chance that I find you, I hope you look my way. Above the cliffs of the golden sand, my lady of the waves. And I hope that you will look for me too, my lady of the waves.
Very nice.
Wow.
A song of
Nice
longing.
one. Nice one.
And I landed a good one. I've been married for 33 years now.
Yay.
Aw, congratulations.
You bet.
Lady of the way.
Accomplishment, yes. Oh, thanks, Jim, for coming back.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, hi Jim. Good to hear and see you again virtually.
Hey, Pete, how's it going?
Oh, hey, I think think doing okay so far, so good. I'm out there playing and doing some gigs and having a good time.
Super.
So, on your first song, I have to ask the question: what's the most used app on your phone?
The most used app on my phone is the chessboard. I'm up to level 6, and I'm getting my butt kicked all the time.
Okay, is there background music on as you're playing, or is it all silent?
Well, you know what? I do use the YouTube app because when I'm working out in the gym, I get my Bluetooth headset going, and I completely tone everything out and just listen to music.
That's good.
Usually my own channel, so I'm practicing my lyrics while I'm working out.
As long as there's not an ostrich on one of the machines down the road.
Yeah. That's never helpful.
That's never helpful. I watch too much TV, obviously. So tell us about your favorite performance of your career.
My favorite performance probably was it was a banjo performance. It was at the boarding house in San Francisco. There was a banjo contest put on by the KSAN radio station, and John McEwen of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band was the judge. And there were all these flashy bluegrass players, and I was playing ironically, I was playing a Gibson Mastertone because it's the only one I owned, and that was the prize they were giving away, a Gibson Mastertone. So I didn't envy the prize at all, but I was frailing, and I played a couple of frailing tunes, and McEwen liked it so much he put me into the second tier. I made it through the first hook, and he played some frailing songs at the intermission because he liked the frailing so much. So I really enjoyed that, and I remember when I finished playing my first song, I hit my bell tones just at the right time, and I got a huge applause at that point, and it felt so good. Yeah, that's my favorite performance.
Yeah, McEwen he's incredible. He's a
nice guy.
Absolutely.
Very helpful guy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I knew them down in L.A. when I was coming up, and
oh, cool.
Worked with John Hickman. He was the banjo picker for Byron Berline, who we just lost last week. But John was an incredible banjo picker. So how has your music evolved, other than?
Well, it evolved from my brother, who was joining the Navy in 1961. He gave me his guitar to take care of, and he taught me the C chord wrong, and I went from there. And I just started to spend more time in my room all by myself. I got real pasty looking. I started developing bad habits. I became a guitar player, in other words, And from there I went. That was during the folk revival of the early '60s. The Kingston Trio and Peso Seco Singers and all those folks, and Peter, Paul, and Mary. And that's what I learned guitar on. And I as soon as I was able to, I got a rock guitar. I got an electric guitar, and I started playing surf music first. And then when everybody had to start doing vocals, we'd sing things like "What I Say," and "Louie Louie, man," and
and Gloria, of course.
Gloria, of course, as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
But then I kind of gravitated back to, I heard Paul Simon play. And all I had was an electric guitar, and I learned how to fingerpick on an electric guitar back in '67. And I've just kind of leaned towards acoustic guitar ever since. I still have a couple of electrics around, because in the studio you have to have them, And I like them, but so that's my story. I learned how to play the banjo about 1971, and more recently in 2011 I got my first ukulele. My wife gave it to me for my birthday, and I've been playing the uke too.
Yeah, I've heard you play that on this show, and it was phenomenal.
I remember I did, didn't I?
It's very good, yeah.
Thank
you. It sounds like we both have the same evolution. I started with the Kingston Trio also, and anyhow. But hey, it's great to see you and hear you again, and
thank you, sir.
Look forward to hearing you again, and sometime, live in person to hear and see all of you. I mean, that'd be fun times.
But, it's good times. Now I got to get my butt out and get some busking jobs someplace,
Oh.
Now that I'm retired.
There you go.
And speaking of hearing everyone, I'm sorry, Pete, did I interrupt you?
I'm good. No, you're good.
I forgot. I would like to mention that many of the people who play for us today, as every time, also have music on their own websites or on YouTube or other online places for music. So you could check it out on openmicamerica.com, and there you will see the links to everybody's music, so you could listen to more. Just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. And now we have our founding father back in the house. Hi, Capo Dave Williams. He doesn't hear us yet. Anyway, that's okay. He'll come on after. Now, after 8 opening acts, we have Mick Schaefer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yay, Mick. I'm unmuting you, spotlighting you for everyone.
You.
And tell us where you play before you actually play for us.
Well, since I got to Milwaukee, right at the beginning of the pandemic, of course I haven't been playing, but now in the last month or two, I've started to locate some places to play, and all through the pandemic, I had a piano player that I'm kind of related to, and we've been playing together, getting ready, and we finally did our first show at the Washington Heights Friday night market. Last week we did 3 sets and had a really good time. It was successful. They hired us back for the rest of the year and for one big show towards the end of the year, just from that one performance. So I'm blissed out. I mean, I get to play again in front of people.
Wow, that's wonderful. So play for us too. We can't wait to hear ya.
Thank you, Daph.
Take it away.
Okay, real good. So, all right, here's my first tune, and this is called Soul Shuffle. I met you in a dingy room, all filled up with light. I'm looking for relation. that feels just right. Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? Feels like gold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. Mighty company, travel so light. When I can't see, you show me the sights. Mighty company, I stare at your face. You remind me I'm holding some grace. Ooh. So sharp, so sharp, so sharp down the road. Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? Feels like gold. Ooh, oh.
Bravo.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Got us dancing a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah, I need to get myself dancing a little bit all the time, you know, and wake myself up. You know, I can go into the condition of not remembering that I'm alive, you know. That happens to me fairly often. I need help from that, you know. So, yeah, thank you for having some interest in dancing.
Yeah. Okay. Take it away again.
Okay, well, the last time I played here, which was amazing, I did a song from the new blues album, and it was called Over in the Corner. And it's a pretty intense blues song, you know, about a child basically seeing his parents partying like crazy. And, you know, unfortunately, they became went through a little phase of being addicted. So that was a strong blues song. But one of those same parents, I wrote another song about, you know, my adoration for that person as my dad. My mom one time came into the bathroom and she witnessed this thing where I just came in from the backyard. I'm looking up at my father and I'm legitimately curious to know how he put the rainbow in the backyard sky. I fully believed that he did it. So, you know, pretty passionate thing I had from my dad. So anyway, this is a song, kind of a bluesy tune in that, you know, about that. Over the sink, getting a shave. Over the sink, getting a shave. I'm looking at you, worship all over my face. Your future's so bright, I gotta be with you. that future so bright. Gotta be with you. I'll go to Reno or Timbuktu. So how'd you make the rainbow? Get it up there so high. How'd you make the rainbow up there so high? So many colors, backyard sky. The big black car driving away. The big black car driving away. Be back tonight, oh, is it 2-week thing? So how'd you make the rainbow? Get up there so high. How'd you make the rainbow up there so high? So many colors way up there in my backyard sky. There it is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I love the story you told first. That just puts it all together. It's
Oh yeah. Well, thank you. It was funny that the last time to try to write new stuff, that it just went. I went way back, like at the early part of my life, that it all of a sudden all that stuff started coming alive for me in a way that maybe it hadn't before. So that it was a surprise, but also a joy. Thank you, Daphne.
That's great, Mick. That sounded fantastic. So you were saying you just performed live recently, and you played with a keyboard player.
Yes.
Was it a duet, or did you have a more instruments?
Well, no, it's just us. I mean, basically, we sat around, played enough that he learned most of the stuff that I wrote, and he was very generous, to do that, and he's a very good keyboard player. So it's just a lot of fun but then to get out of his way, sometimes just to set the song up and have it rolling, and then just get out of his way, let him just do whatever he wants to with the song. He did some unbelievable stuff, and people would just like watch him, and I'd watch him and sometimes forget what I was supposed to do next, because it was rather profound, some of the stuff he was pulling off, out of his hat.
Yeah, been there, done that, boy. You just stop in awe, and you're going, oh, wait a minute, I got to do my part. Oops.
You're a lucky person if you're playing with people that good.
Oh yeah. Well, anyhow, so were they originals or a combination of originals and covers? And
well, this is like being out in public and all these people that I never met before. So I really wasn't I wasn't an idiot. I played a lot of covers.
Okay,
also,
well,
I had to mix them back and forth, about 50-50.
Yeah, I guess as they say, read the room. So yeah, that's you're a very wise man.
Yeah.
So what's your what is it about music that makes you feel passionate?
Well, I think the thing that where I start to go into that other place, where it's really different. You feel like you're in this other place, like, wow, what is this? This other place is kind of, everything is more awake and alive, and the feelings are deeper, and the meaning is strong. A song, and I write songs that usually are pretty poignant to me about something that happened to me that I really don't ever want to forget. Like that, like my, about thinking my dad, was a rainbow maker, You know, I don't ever want to forget that. You know, that's just like one of those kind of precious things. My mom, she said when she witnessed it, and she just went in the other room and she wept.
Yeah.
You know, it just like touched her so much, you know, and I like to go, when I go back to that weepage or that deep feeling of that, I get to relive it again. And I think that's the passion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And so I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's your favorite song to perform?
Oh, you know, I know you know this. That could be a different song on different nights, but that song, that last song that I did the first time I played, or the last time I played with you guys over in the corner, every time I do that song, every single time, it just puts me right into music heaven for some reason. And I guess it's because maybe I'm still processing something from those early years. So it's something about my you know, whatever the personal development thing is, that I can't go to the next place where I need to go until I see the first thing. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I'm in a recovery process, and that seems to be the way it works. And so when I can really land on something and see it how it really, really is, something in my body knows it, and the level of connection and response is just something remarkable that I can't miss it. You know, it's something that, okay, this is something you really should pay attention to.
Yeah. And embrace it and let it unfold, basically, right?
Well, I mean, that's what it does. I mean, if it's the song that's hitting that, if it's, you know, remember Julia Cameron, she came out with that book called Artist's Way, and a bunch of people back in the day read that, and she was talking about how you gotta, if you're gonna write a song, you want to get the cup, you want to get that emotional depth, you want to hit that moment where something was so deep, so strong that it's got a lot to give. You know, that particular time and moment, it's got a lot to give if you'll hang around it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna flip this. Has anyone asked you for your autograph?
Yeah, I did get asked a few times. Yeah, thank you for asking that. Right. I have, yeah, once in a while. I mean, I've got 2 records, you know, that got done in a really nice environment, in a real nice studio with really good musicians. And that's 3rd one. I just did it in Portland, and so sometimes when people will hear that record, you know, they'll get impressed enough that they'll ask me to sign it. Maybe a half a dozen times. That's my, you know. But you know what I think what LeeLee was saying earlier, that was so generous and so sweet what she said, that she knows how good it's going to make the person feel to sign their name. And that's how it does feel every time. So I'm super grateful if anybody ever asks me that. And I was impressed by LeeLee's comment.
Yeah, that's good advice. So last question: what you get to listen to one song for the rest of your life? What would it be?
That's such an interesting question. And the one song that I think like took me to a place that I won't ever forget the first time, where it's like if it's a reference point or something like that, was I was in Munich back in 1972. I'm no spring chicken. And was it 72? No, it was 1971. And Carlos Santana was doing a concert there. I'd never seen Carlos Santana before. And when they were doing Soul Sacrifice, I don't know, man. Maybe that wouldn't carry me for the rest of my life. I don't know. It had so much power in it, you know. It's just like I walked out of there. I was just like, I just felt like I was in a different world.
Yeah, cool. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing again, Mick. I appreciate it. And everybody here tonight, I just want to tell you, it's always a joy. It's like Christmas in July. We're opening presents. Every one of your songs is a gift, and you know, that's or somebody's birthday, whatever. But thank you so much for joining in, and I'm going to turn it back over to Daphne to wrap things up.
Ditto what Pete said. Thank you, Mick. What wonderful words to part with, you know, just describing that joy and that feeling of sharing music with other people. I mean, that's what this is all about. And thank you all for sharing your music with us. I want to tell our audience, don't forget to check openmicamerica.com for future shows and also for links to the work of all the performers that you heard today and in other shows. We're going to be coming to you for now twice a month. Hopefully it will grow and there will be more performances. Please check out all your local open mics, and if you live in the areas that these performers said, check out ones that they've mentioned. We also have some listed under the local open mics tab on the website. Our next show will be August 1st, and we're going to have a new guest host, Alice Osborne. She sang here once. And stay tuned for that lineup. So with that, I am going to ask our performers to sit tight, maybe smile and wave while I end the live stream, because I never know exactly when it ends. So here we go. Bye-bye, everybody in YouTube land. Thank you to all the performers. It's not ended yet. I think maybe it